Alright guys, so in today's video I'm going to show you exactly how to connect your Telegram with Cloud AI. Alright, so if you want to connect your Telegram with Cloud, alright, so let me walk with you with Claude. Rather, I'm going to show you exactly how to connect your Telegram with Cloud AI. So with that being said, right, just pay attention to this video and also watch till the end. Right, so it's very important you watch to the end so you're not going to make any mistake. So let's get right into it. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is that we need to create, right, a bot, right, so that we are going to connect to Claude. So we need to create the bots that we're going to connect to Claude. By the way, you can also connect maybe apps, games, and all of that inside of your Telegram. Alright, you can also do this on your mobile phone. It's still the same thing. So I just come here, come to your Telegram online. So use webs.telegram.org. Alright, webs.telegram.org. Alright, so this is how to come over. So when you come here, you type in bot father. Right, most of you already know how to create a bot. Right, you come here, type in bot father, click on bot father. I do have like an existing chat with it, because I've done this before. So let me walk you through exactly what to do. Just come here, type in /new bot. Alright, so come here, /new bot. Believe that should be it. Let me see. Am I making any mistake? No. So this is it. So /new bot. So let's, yeah, so this is it. All right, so I click on it and then it will ask you, it says how are we going to call it. So choose a name for the bot. I'll just choose a random name, blah 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 123. All right, so blah blah 123, that's the name of the bot, right, just for this video. All right, so once you've done this, so the next thing we're going to do is, all right, so the next thing we're going to do is that it says here now let's choose a username for it. All right, so we'll just choose this username and then put underscore. They said always end it with underscore bot, so I'll use underscore. Let me underscore bot. We're just going to use it. So if that name already exists, all right, they're going to tell us it already exists, which is weird, right? Who names their bot blah blah 123, right? But then so I'm just going to try and see if I can copy this one right here. I'll copy it again and then maybe make some adjustment to it. Let's see. Copy selected text. I'll come here. Let me exit this. Come here. Click on paste and then 1 2 3 4 4 5 6 7 8. I wonder if someone has this username. That being said, let's see. Alright, it says okay, it's supposed to end with those bots. Alright, underscore bots. So let's copy it right here. We'll still copy it right here. Come here, paste. Alright, so copy, come here, paste, then put in underscore bots as usual. Alright, underscore bots. Alright, so yeah, so this is it. Boom. So we've created it. So the blah blah 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 works. Alright, so they've given us the things that we're going to need, right? This token is something that we're going to use, and don't worry, you're usually not supposed to show your token to anybody, but I'm still going to delete the bot because it's just for this video, right? So don't worry about the token, right? So but you're not supposed to show anybody your token usually, so we're going to need this. So having created the bots, it says here that we can access the bots here. So if I click on it right here, I'll click on this one. So if I access the bot, this is the bot right here. Come here, click on start. All right, so you can send any message to the bots, right? You can send in hello, whatever you want to send, right? But then you cannot get any response, right? Because that's what the Claude AI is for. So when we've connected the Claude, then it will give you any response. Any question you ask it, it will be able to give you any response. All right, so to start giving you a response, but now it cannot. So yeah, so how do we do that? We come over to this website here called Zapier. Most of you have heard of Zapier before, most of you have not. Now keep watching this video because it's very, very important. Okay, so Zapier is what we are going to be using. Come over to zapier.com. It is super simple. Just open the tab on your browser, come here to zapier.com. Simple. Once you're here, I'm sure if you don't have an account, you can create an account, right? So this is true. I'm already logged in. It's actually a very easy and simple process to log in. Just create your account, put in your email, verify your email, name, username, and all of that. So putting username, email, it's super simple, right? So once you've set up your account, you look something like this, right? The way you're seeing it on my screen. So you come to the left hand side, see create right here. Okay, click on create right here, and then they're going to give you different options: zap, table, form, canvas, chatbots, so on and so forth. Come here to Zap. Okay, click on Zaps right here. All right, so it's going to load, and then once we get to Zap, they are going to give us two options, two things to set up. Super important. You can ignore this one for now, Copilot for now. It's not really useful for now, but then you see that we have trigger and then we have action. All right, so trigger and action, what do we need them for? Trigger and action. So trigger and action is what we are going to use to connect our Telegram with Claude. All right, Telegram with Claude. Zapier is what we're going to use, and we're going to set it up using this trigger and action. So trigger is where we are going to set up the Telegram. All right, so how Telegram is supposed to receive or give signals to Claude. So we're going to set it on how, what should be the trigger for it to give Claude a signal to respond back. So remember, the way it works is that anytime you send the text right here, normally Claude will be able to receive the text message, all right, from Telegram, and then reply, give a corresponding response, all right, which should align with the question that was being asked. I hope that makes sense. So that's why we are doing this. So Telegram needs to be able to connect to Claude, right? So this is what we are doing right here. So this is the trigger where we set up the Telegram, that anytime it receives the chat, give you the instruction on what to do. So yeah, you can come here, come to search and type in Telegram. So usually my Telegram is already showing right here. Okay, it's no longer showing, but you get the point. Just come here, Telegram, type in Telegram. All right, so yeah, come here, type in Telegram, and yeah, so this is going to open. Select the event. So this is supposed to open, and then we are going to come here and set everything all up. Okay, so having done this, what we are going to do right now is that we are just going to come here, trigger events, come here, click on new message. Okay, so trigger events, let me also read it for you, very important. It says triggers instantly when a new message is received by your bot. Right, so yeah, so this is, so anytime it says triggers instantly when a new message is received. So anytime you send the message here, the Telegram would automatically receive a trigger. All right, so we are going to also program it to what to do once it receives the trigger, but the trigger should be anytime it receives a message, all right, from our chatbot or inside our chatbot. So come here, and then under accounts, we are going to select the exact chatbot. So this is what happens. So I have existing chatbots right here, but we'll come here and click on connect a new account. The account there is just the chatbot. Okay, super simple. It's loading. So once it loads, it will give us, it will ask us for our API or our token. All right, so it says bot token. All right, so we need to paste in our bot token right here. So I told you that that thing will come in handy. So if you come back to our bot folder, and yeah, so come to our bot folder right here, and then you see this is the token I told you about. So very important. All right, so let me copy it right here. All right, so copy it, come here and paste it. So come back here. So this is what we needed that token for. So paste it right here and connect. All right, so it's connecting, as you can see. So once it's connecting, yeah, boom, it's done. Super simple, right? And it was quite fast. So click on continue. So we are under setup. So once you click on continue, to go over to configure. Okay, click on continue, go over to configure, and they're going to give us a list of options. Chat ID, we're going to leave it blank, honestly. All right, so it says no options are available, just leave it there. Message type, now this one is up to you. So let me explain what this message type is. It says it exclude voice and audio messages, which is one I selected. You can also use only voice and audio messages. You can all use all messages. So what this means is that excludes voice and audio messages, which means that the trigger will not work. The trigger will not work if you use an audio message or send in a voice note. So the trigger will not work. So the AI that we are going to connect, the Claude, will not be able to respond if you use a voice note. So that's the setup right here. But if you want it otherwise, you can click on all messages. Okay, so but I'm just going to leave it right here. Click on continue. So we'll go over to test. All right, so this is where we'll test to see if it's actually connected successfully. All right, so it's loading. What's going to happen is that they are just going to be able to see if it has access to our chat. So it says here test your, and then we'll come here and click, put in how are you. All right, click on how are you. So send in another message. So let's see if we can detect our message. We'll test the trigger again. Okay, I think it's the internet. We're having an internet issue. There's nothing wrong. All right, so let's see. So so come here, come here, come here. So let's see. Let's come here and test the trigger again. Boom. So as you can see, it has found it. So it's found the message. It says we found records in your Telegram account. We would load up to 3 recent messages, blah blah blah. So come here to message A. So this is the message that they found. So how do we know that it's what is correct? It says, what's the text? It says here, how are you? All right, so the text here says, how are you? This is how we know that they actually got it. So if you come here, you see that the text we sent was, how are you? Right, so they found it, so which means it worked. Our connection worked. You can also see this the exact date, right, the message ID and all of that. So basically that's it. Right, so that's proof that it actually works. So we'll click on continue with selected record. So to move over to this action where we can connect our Claude now. All right, so action, so it will connect to Claude. Asks us to select now. So here you're going to select Claude. All right, so anthropic Claude, that's what you're supposed to pick. So this is the same thing as the action here. So what does action mean? Let me explain. So this action right here, it means that what should be taken once the trigger has been sent. What should be the response, right? So what should be the response? So that's what we are supposed to set up. We are supposed to program um Claude to give the response that we want, the type of response that we want. So click on action, come here, you can type in Claude, but this is basically it. When you type in anthropic Claude or just Claude, you should see there, click on it. All right, so we're here, and then come here, click on if action events. So what should be done? All right, so we want it to send messages. So what is the action that we want Claude to be taking? Right, so we want it to send message. So it says sends a message to Claude, and the model generates the next message in the conversation, storing the message as you go, which is what we want. So there are other options here in case you have other advanced things you want to do, like delete files, download files, all of that depends on the programming. But then right here it says here get file metadata da da da. But what we really want is messages. We want Claude to be able to send messages, right, as response to messages that was sent to it. Right, so that being said, come here. Yeah, so once you're here, you click on account, blah blah blah. Click on account. So we need to click on create new account, right? So create a new account right here. So this is something similar to what we did with Telegram. Create a new account. They're going to ask us for an API key, right? Predictable. They're gonna ask for an API key. This is usually where people miss it, and this is always why it's good to watch a video till the end, right? So you're not going to make mistake or get stuck along the way. This is always why it's good to watch a video to the end. Now most people don't know how to get an API key. They usually get stuck here. Let me show you what to do. Minimize this, open a tab on your browser, you come here and type in something called console, right? Let me type it well. Console dot um anthropic, right, .com. It's already here on my screen. Console.anthropic.com. Now you're going to create an account on this website. It also changed to platform.claude.com, platform.claude.com. That's what it changed to. But that's basically it. Come here. So you want to create, I already have an account, by the way. So if you want to just create an account for yourself, I recommend you use the same account, the same email you use for your Claude when you're creating your account. So it just makes things easier. It's not a necessity, but then just to make it easier, use the same email account. That being said, when you come here, you need to, when you create an account, it's very easy to create your account. You need to add funds. Very, very important. If you don't add funds, this thing here, you will not be able to do your test. Alright, so because at the end, remember, we will need to test it. So when we send a message on our Telegram, we want it to respond to us, right? So we need to test. For you to test it, you need to fund your account. Alright, so you need to fund this. So you need to come here, click on add funds, and then put in funds and all of that. Put in your credit card, blah blah blah, and all of that. So and then put in whatever you want. So this serves as credit. Alright, so this serves as credit. So what does the credit do? This credit actually helps you so that whenever you're sending a text, because usually you're paying for text messages that are being sent from Claude. All right, so whenever someone sends a text inside your bot, for you to respond, you are paying a fee to be able to respond. You have to pay a fee to be able to respond. That's how it works. So if you don't add it, you'll probably not be able to set everything up. I'll show you how to set it up, right? But then we'll not be able to test it if you don't add funds. All right, and yeah, and then basically when you're using it day to day, you will need to add funds so that every text they'll be charging you for the response that Claude is giving. I hope that makes sense. So but then you can still create your API key, right? So I have API keys here that are not funded, so you can still create your API key. That's the point. All right, so you can still create your API key without adding funds, but when you're trying to use it, it will not work. So you can always still fund it. So even if after creating your API key, you can still fund the so you come here, click on create key. All right, click on create key, name it whatever you want to name it. All right, so I don't want to waste too much time. Name it whatever you want to name it, and then click on add. That is that simple. All right, so even if you don't have, even if you've not funded it, you can still create your API key and connect it. You can. All right, so but then you still need to add funds to be able to use it, right? So be able to use it, but you can still create your API key. Let me use one of the ones that I already have. Let's see. Let me copy. I believe this should be the API key. Should I copy? Yeah, let me copy one of these ones right here. I hope this is correct. Or let me just create a new one. Let me just in Claude tests or Claude example dash example. I hope this serves us. All right, so I'll just name it this and then come click on add. All right, so yeah, this is it. So I'll click on copy right here, click on done. All right, so yeah, basically that's it. All right, so yeah, once you've done this, the next thing you want to do is that you want to successfully come here and come back here. All right, so we'll come back here and then click on this one right here. So let's go back here, add the key and then click on connect. All right, add the key, click on connect, and it's connecting. Boom, it says it's connected. Super simple. So we've done it, we've done the connection. Then we'll click on continue to configure. All right, so once we're here, it says here users message, so we'll click on plus right here. Or let me before we come here, let me do this one. So it says here system. All right, so system, this is what we need to program Claude to let it know what it's supposed to do for us. So I'll put in here an AI assistant, right? So AI assistant, comma, answer users questions. All right, so answer users question. Let me users question clearly. All right, clearly and briefly. I hope that makes sense. So you are an AI assistant, answer users questions clearly and briefly. So this is basically it. Okay, so I'm telling it what the assignment that it's supposed to do for us. So it is acting as an AI assistant and it's going to answer users questions clearly and briefly. So that's what we want from it. Then we'll come to user message, click on the plus icon. So this one here I typed in something, but this one here you're going to click on the plus icon. Come here, it says user message. So we need to come here and look for that text. All right, so this text, how are you? So this is what we are going to look for, text. The how are you is depending on what you typed in here, so it must not be how are you. Okay, just depends on what you typed in. So text, click on it and that's it. Come down here, choose model. We can click sonnet. Let's see, let me choose sonnet 5, Claude sonnet 5, and then memory key. So this memory key right here, what this does is that with a memory key, pay attention, with a memory key, what it helps you do is that you will be able to, Claude will be able to remember your previous charts. Okay, so if you, let's say you told Claude your date of birth, for example, and then you continued your conversation. If you ask Claude, so what's my date of birth, right? If you ask what you've talked about before, right? So it helps with the memory for it to remember. So if you want it to be able to remember things that your maybe your customers or people that are using your bots are talking about with it, if you want it to remember previous messages, then you definitely need this memory key. So what you do, you come down and look for chat ID. So it has control over the entire chat. So you can still look for previous chats to answer questions, right? So yeah, I'll click on false for this one, advanced. We don't need any advanced options, at least on the basic level, or I can just decide not to choose anything. So that being said, click on continue, and then lastly it will show you all you've done, and then you can click on test. You can test it or you can skip test. We can't test because we did not fund this one, so you need to, like I said, we need to fund it. Okay, very very important. Like I said, we need to like add funds for it to work. So if you don't buy credits, you will not be able to test it, but then you can just skip test and click on publish. So if you click on skip test right here, I believe we've done everything. So if I click on skip test right here, you'll see it says here publish. So you can now publish it. All right, you can publish it, but if you follow this step it will still work without testing. I know, because I know it works. So you can just click on publish and boom, you're good to go. Right, you've connected your Telegram to your Claude. All right, so that's basically it. So this is how to connect your Telegram to Claude. So do also like this video if you got any value, and also subscribe to this channel for more videos like this. We make videos like this to help you out. Okay, so subscribe, and with that being said, I'll see you in the next video.